Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be taking a look at some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. We're finally getting Kairyu-Shin's ultimate form, maybe? Anyways, this card actually only got printed in speed duels. We don't actually have like a booster pack version of it other than in the speed duels. But it's just a bonus little fact for you. But we're really here for the effects, right? So this card is actually pretty cool. So this is the Fury of the Kairyu-Shin over here. It says, after 20 years, you can directly search Torrential Tribute, but it actually can be used for a lot of other decks. Anyways, I'll get into that in a moment. So first off, this is the Leviathan's Fury / Fury of the Kairyu-Shin, which is a normal spell card that says you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is to add a Torrential Tribute from your deck to your hand. The second effect is if a water monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you get to banish this card from your graveyard instead. So you get to protect your stuff, which could actually be pretty cool. You can actually utilize it to play it in obviously water. The Deep Sea Diva is, I think, what is really trying to hype up maybe this over here. Maybe they'll give it a lot more support for just waters in general, because Kairyu-Shin is obviously going to be the water sea stormer. I mean, he is a level 5 that requires a tribute to summon him, but nonetheless, it's probably not going to be its own archetype, but that would be a cool thing to go ahead and see, as it's one of those like legacy Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But I want to talk really briefly about its implications in the actual real use of in game. So let's go ahead and look at decks that can make great use of Torrential Tribute. And I also want to address an issue that some people might think of. Well, let's go over Torrential Tribute first, because, you know, there might be some new Yu-Gi-Oh duelists out here, and this card was super powerful back in the day. Torrential Tribute has the effect when a monster or monsters is summoned, you destroy all monsters on the field. That includes both boards, which can actually be something that's quite great. So, obviously, you want to set it as a trap card. You want to surprise your opponent. Here's the problem with the Fury of the Kairyu-Shin. When you go ahead and search out Torrential Tribute, they're going to know you said it, but you can high IQ them. Search Torrential, don't even set it. Big brain plays, right? And then you can maybe set that Torrential later if you want to. More than likely, it's better to set it, because if you don't, you're probably going to get FTK'd, OTK'd anyways. But the thing is that I understand that the whole point of Torrential Tribute is because, of course, you would have that surprise factor when your opponent goes for a big board play, and then you go flip Torrential just at the very last moment. Let's say they go Librarian, and then they, you know, they have like another, they go for that formula and just hit that with that Torrential, or whatever the case may be. You want to hit it towards the end of their combo. But the problem is with most Yu-Gi-Oh decks now is there's too many big boss monsters that will be either immune, they'll be able to negate, and I think that's the biggest problem with Torrential Tribute, and why it doesn't see too much play. However, you can still use this to your advantage. I mean, on top of being able to also protect your water monsters, obviously the Deep Sea Diva archetype is coming out. You can technically use it in other decks that would just use any waters. Any Paleozoic variants can make use of this as well. But I was also thinking that you can run it in Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is still a very popular deck with like cards like Baby Saurus. You can still get that effect when it is destroyed by a card effect. It doesn't have to be by your opponent's card effect. So you can go Baby Saurus, set Torrential, go right into Oviraptor, start searching, start going through your cards. So I think it does have a little bit of potential, but I just wanted to also mention that, like, what I've seen from the community of the Yu-Gi-Oh forums, it's like, why would you want to go ahead and search Torrential and let your opponent know that you have it? Again, I understand, but it could still help you out, and it still forces them to potentially make other things. So I wanted to give it a little bit more credit, because I think Torrential Tribute is still a decent card. I've seen some really high-ranked duels that Mirror Force would have actually won them the game, because people spam the board, and they just have a lot of monster negations versus actual spell and trap. Well, mostly it's spell and monster negation. As far as impermanence goes, that card is still obviously very strong as well, and obviously you can impermanence stop the card that would stop Torrential from going off. Then you have a better setup. That's where the bigger IQ play comes in, where you're still playing impermanence, you can still play Veiler, you can still play other things that would stop the negation of Torrential, if that kind of makes sense. But anyways, next up, a lot of this is just going to be the Rush duel cards, because I did want to cover them on my channel. So let's go and check out some of the newer ones that came out. This is going to be kind of a compilation of them, because some of them got announced like a day or two ago, but I just want to make it all into one video. But let me know, guys, what you think of this card over here, the Fury of the Kairyu-Shin. Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's going to be absolutely terrible? I think it's got a little bit of potential. Like I said, Mirror Force and Torrential, there's so many games where I really feel like that card would have won them the game. Anyways, Fire Golem over here. Keep in mind these are rush duels, they're not part of the rig, the Yu-Gi-Oh game. Anyways, Fire Golem, level 3 fire spellcaster type effect monster. 1200 attack, 800 defense points, so its requirements is to pay activate by paying 600 life points. You get to choose a face-up monster in your opponent's field, and it loses 600 defense. I probably wouldn't recommend running this card, even in rush duels, because if it ruined its attack, if it reduced it, then we're looking at something a little bit better, but even then, it's quite mediocre. We have a vanilla monster named Armor Knight. This is just more so checking out some of the other cards here. We also have Machine Attacker. It is a level 5, so Tribute 1 for 1600. Big place, man. Old vanilla monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh over here. Silver Fang is also going to be making a appearance in the rush duels over here. Again, these are just more so classic Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I want to go over mostly the ones that have effects. Obviously, we can go over that one in like 2 seconds. But the Hilt, the Noble Arms Bearer over here, is a card that has the level of 5. It's a spellcaster, and it's got 1300 attack and 500 defense points, and its requirements are none. The effect is to select one attack as a monster, warrior type you control, and have it gain 600 attack until the end of this turn. So that can boost itself up, and at that point you have a pretty decent 1900 attack monster. It is a level 5 though, but rush duels work a little bit differently. You can just kind of spam the board, so not that bad at all when it's like high level. Next up we have Seal of the Ancient. So this is a spell card that says a requirement. You can activate this by paying 1,000 life points. The effect is to look at all face down cards your opponent controls. Rush duels are very, very fast anyways, but nonetheless being able to kind of reveal it, maybe go ahead and pull off an OTK. But anyways, that's it for the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this card specifically, because, well, not this one, because that's a vanilla Tribute 1 for 1800 attack. But I really think that this card is going to be underrated, and I think that it could definitely see some play in a lot of different decks. But off the top of my head, I definitely feel like dinosaurs can make use of it. Any Mermail variant maybe can make use of it as well. But keep in mind, when you Torrential, you're also using your board, but you can kind of just set up. You can go for, I guess, slower Mermail plays. You can go for the Link monster, and then you can go for Lin, and other things that would normally be seen as like worse plays. Maybe will be a little bit better, but again, the thing with Torrential is you are revealing to your opponent that, hey, I'm sending my Torrential Tribute, but you can big brain them and then keep it in your hand and don't set it. Set something completely different, and when they try to pop it with an effect, you can go ahead and chain it. Like, I think that does add a little bit of surprise factor to the game. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it, and if you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss out when we cover the other cards coming out in Rise of the Duelist, which they actually have like the new Gaia, and it's kind of cool. You can get ridiculous amounts of draw power. We're talking like 10 plus draws in one turn. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll try to remember to pin that down below. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. But if you want to see me replays of this, like you want, I think I could just play Mermails and just throw this in and just see what happens. We'll probably do some stuff on the live stream as well with this. I think it'll be kind of fun. I'll probably end up streaming this. Well, shoot, Half-Life, the new Half-Life game came out today, so we'll probably end up playing that, or maybe some Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys aren't following me over on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. I stream every single day. Not always Yu-Gi-Oh, just as a heads up, but I will stream this with Mermails, and I think that we can do some really fun stuff with it. Maybe with Paleozoic too. I just think the card is, I know everyone's talking trash about it, but I really think Torrential Tribute is still a viable card in 2020. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next vid. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.